Alright, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is time for my first thoughts of the year. How you doing, man? Hey, man, it's Frazzleberry. How you doing? Welcome to my thoughts on Dead Island. Game came out back in September. However, we are in January, the new year. How you doing? Yeah, pretty good. What's up? Alright, so starting off with Dead Island. I didn't really have any expectations going into this. All I knew is it was pretty popular as a zombie game and as a online co-op game, so I'm pretty blind going into this. Yeah, let's start it. Starting with story, like always. Alright, so the game takes place on Banoi. It's this island. I don't know. It's like in the Caribbean or something. But basically, you're in this island. This crazy ass like outbreak goes down. They basically show you it in the opening cutscene. And what do you call it? Basically, yeah, like in the opening cutscene, you see this like crazy outbreak go down. That's basically how the zombie outbreak starts. Throughout the game, you do figure out more about it and ways to stop it, ways to like counter it, and all this stuff. And yeah, it's pretty much your basic zombie story. There's not really that much detail. It's no Resident Evil or anything, but they do explore it a little bit. They do explain some other alternatives with the zombie virus and stuff. Yeah, so pretty basic zombie story. I'll start talking about my my complaints now. The characters, they're pretty shitty. Yeah, there's no character development. There's like a little bit, like maybe with like 1 or 2 characters, but that's about it. They really should have focused more on the characters and stuff like that. The plot itself also is pretty boring. You basically just keep doing fetch quests or elimination quests till you can go on to the main quest missions, or sometimes you can skip straight to the story missions. What the side missions really do is just allow you to explore the island more, so you can get better items and stuff. So the main story is basically the only story you're really gonna get. The rest is just really minor. My husband's trapped in this bungalow. Go get him, or go meet the scientist on the forest because he has something to give you. So you're not really gonna get much out of a story for this game. Plot isn't really that good. Pacing is pretty bad. However, I will say that it's weird to see an extremely serious game. Like, what I mean by this is most zombie games, they try to have some comic relief in there because it's the end of the world pretty much. Zombies are attacking. This game is completely serious. Like, when a character dies, it's pretty hardcore. There's like sad piano music playing, and they do this really awesome piano like soundtrack for every situation, and it sounds pretty cool. Yeah. So like you'll be like in the whenever you're in these hideouts where the survivors are hiding out, you'll hear like this really sad like this really sad piano music. That was a pretty good piano, but yeah, you see, it's pretty cool. I like it. However, I am gonna have to disapprove of the story mode. Just because there really wasn't that much entertainment as you're playing the game. But this is really a co-op game. It's not really made for the story. It's like Borderlands, essentially. Moving on to gameplay. Basically, like I was saying, it's 4-player co-op. You pick one of the 4 characters. Each are an expert in one different type of weaponry. So you have like the sharp blade master. You have the blunt master. You have the throwing expert, and then you also have the I think there's firearms expert. Basically, each of these characters excel at that one type of fighting, and their skill tree is tweaked around that. So like, let's say you're playing as Logan. He's the master of throwing, so he's not going to be that good at blunt weapons or sharp weapons. However, he should probably give his weapons to the other characters just because they could be more useful to them. For example, my friend had this katana at the end of the game. Once he beat the game, you basically have to replay through the entire game again. You can't level select. So what he did is he joined my game. He goes up to whatever point I am in the story mode, and then he gave me his katana because it was really powerful. And that way I have this sword that basically I can swing like 10 to 15 times before my stamina runs out. Whereas if he swung that high level katana, he'd run out of stamina in like 2 or 3 swings. So the weapon specialization is actually like affecting things in the game, which is pretty badass. What else we got? Yeah, basically the whole point of the game is it's like a big sandbox game. You go from part of the map to more part of the map, exploring the map, just how you would with like Fallout or Oblivion or Skyrim or Borderlands. Well, Borderlands not so much, but this game, yeah, Borderlands I guess it was pretty similar too. Yeah, but basically, you just go to these hideouts where there's survivors who give you quests. It's a basic formula that works. Yeah, there isn't really much story to pushing you forward, so you don't really care to finish it. I was just doing side quests to build up my money and get better weapons, really. Oh yeah, saying that, the game took me probably 30 hours. I got like 80% completion. I'm probably not gonna replay it again just because I don't really have that many friends who play co-op. However, I will say this: if you do have a friend to play co-op with this game, it's gonna be really fun. It's gonna be a completely different experience. However, if you don't, it's gonna be a little drag. All right, getting back to gameplay. Like I said, there's 4 characters. They each have different skill trees. What else? What other features do we got? All right. One thing that sets this game apart from other zombie games is you have this analog control style. What this means is it's kind of taking a note out of Skyward Sword, or Skyward Sword took a note out of this, where you take your right analog, which is your directional looking, like wherever you look, and let's say you hit up down. That means you're gonna swing from up to down. If you hit left right, you're gonna swing left to right. If you hit like left diagonal up, down diagonal right, you're gonna swing vertically or like horizontally that way. Or diagonally, whatever. Yeah, it's really cool system that allows you to like attack limbs and like cut off arms, cut off legs, cut off heads. Very different for a zombie game. Compared to Left 4 Dead's just normal mash right trigger to kill things. So I like that feature. It's pretty badass. Looting and crafting's pretty good. Looting, kinda, not so much. Basically, there's loot everywhere. Enemies drop it. There's crates everywhere. There's like baggage everywhere. There's garbage cans. There's boxes. You basically loot everything you see. You get items, crafting items, weapons. There's no armor system, so you don't have to worry about that. But what really happens is the crafting system. You get all these items like batteries, deodorant, duct tape. You can take it to a crafting table and build like all this crazy stuff. Like, you get duct tape and deodorant. You can make a bomb. You get like nails and a baseball bat. You can make a nail bat. You get, let's say you get like, there's some crazy ones. Like you need like 3 batteries, 3 rolls of duct tape, 2 big batteries, like all these items. Then you can make like a fucking level 4 lightning blade, and it's insane. It's pretty sweet. I will approve of gameplay just because it was pretty fun when I was playing in co-op, and it does do some different things that a lot of games don't try, like trying a new weapon system or combat system. It's pretty good. Sound. Alright, so the voice acting is pretty average. I'm not trying to be mean, but European studios or whatever, they don't really get voice acting that well. So the voice acting is pretty average, if not under average. I don't know, just a lot of shitty accents, a lot of stereotypical voices. Like the black guy's always like, "Yo, I'm tired of your shit, dude." Like he has like his typical like ghetto accent, pretty much, because he's like a famous rapper. You got the sport player who's a typical jock, like, "I'm tired of your shit. Well, let's do this." Like, you got the Chinese girl who's like, "Oh, my father's gonna be upset though." Yeah, it's pretty shitty. Yeah, I don't know. They rely heavily on the like stereotypical voices for characters, so it's average. OST, the soundtrack. Yeah, it's pretty average too. However, there is a lot of piano soundtrack or like sound scores, whatever you call them, tracks. So that's pretty nice. Sounds pretty good. Fits the atmosphere a lot of the time. Oh, the apartment music. Whenever you go into an instanced apartment, there is the most creepiest fucking ambience background sounds, like, really. I'm gonna disagree with sound though, or disapprove, just because there wasn't voice acting. Like, voice acting would have made it a lot better. However, I will say that everybody is voiced in this game. That's pretty good. But like I said, I'm disapproving of sound just because the voice acting's not really up there. There isn't that many songs that I would re-listen to, and that's it. Alright, so let's talk about my likes and dislikes. Okay, first, like, co-op. Basically, whenever you pause your game, it'll say game lobby. You can join matches, you can send invites to your friends, you can open up your party so people can join you. Pretty badass. Also, you can just drop out and just constantly keep playing from there. And also, there's a scaling system. So, let's say I'm level 10, my friend's level 30. He comes into my game, he's gonna be fighting level 30 zombies while I'm fighting level 10 zombies. They're the same zombies. It's just to us the stats are different, and the loot is different. Pretty badass. Controls. Yeah, like I said, they try this new analog, like directional swinging, which is pretty badass. I will say that the controls are a little clunky too, though, but it makes up for it. It's a pretty interesting system. And I heard if you play with the non-analog controls, like the one where you just swing in directions randomly, that one's pretty good too. Okay, talking about my dislikes now. The minimap. This thing is really shitty. It'll tell you to run through walls sometimes. Like what it does is you set a nav point towards your objective. It's supposed to show you the path on your map. Like it creates like a little trail. What the problem is though, it doesn't know how to get there in the fastest way. So you could easily just jump over a wall that would tell you to run around the wall. So sometimes it'll tell you to run through walls. Sometimes it'll tell you to go backwards when it's in front of you and stuff like that. It's just annoying. Especially the sewer level, that was just horrible. Glitches. There are a lot of glitches in this game. You cannot play this game without seeing them. Basically, what kind of glitches did I have? I had glitches where zombies stopped moving, zombies stood up when they died, zombies that floated in the air, trees that were floating in the air, rocks that were invisible but still there that would hurt your car. There was AI glitches where like there's some escort missions where they don't run in a straight line. They like run into a wall or stand still, stuff like that. The textures wouldn't pop in a lot of the times, especially during cutscenes near the end. Yeah, there's more glitches, but those are really the ones that I just started taking notice of because they were happening frequently. Those are my likes and dislikes. So let's talk about my overview. Let's talk about my overview, guys. Alright, so Dead Island is a pretty fun game if you have co-op. Like it's solo-wise, it's just there's not enough story to make you really want to see what happens, you know? If you do enjoy Borderlands and you did like playing Borderlands by yourself, you probably will like this game. But if you do have friends, play co-op. Absolutely play co-op. It's really needed to have super enjoyment with this game. And also, I'm just saying, if they focused more on story and polishing the game, this could have been a really good game. Alright? So, I'm going to disapprove of the game overall, but just run it. Try it out if you're interested.